Hi guys, it's France. This is week 66 of my Journal on Monday videos. Happy Monday to you. I'm still working in my handmade Coptic binded art journal, which I filled with heavy watercolor paper. This is Paper Artsy Fresco Finish chalky acrylic paint that I'm applying. I'm using 3 shades of blue, and if you want the details of the names of the 3 shades, you should check out my blog, as I have a complete list of ingredients on there. Spraying a bit of water and then using a baby wipe to blend the 3 colors together. I did protect the center of my art journal with some masking tape that I'm trimming away now. Now I'm taking out of my treasure box, I'm taking some lids, and I'm going to use the bottom to stamp. So I'm applying embossing ink and then just stamping my circle on my page so that I can heat emboss it with clear UT. As you can see, those circles are not perfect, and that's exactly what I wanted. Otherwise I would have used stamps. And then repeating it all over again. Stamping with embossing ink and then applying some clear UT. You could do the same with clear embossing powder. The only difference is that this is a bit thicker, and as I'm playing with acrylic paint, it will be easier to do what it is I want to do. Changing size, I'm going with a smaller lid and just repeating the same over and over until I reach the other side of my spread. And the higher I go, the smaller the caps I used. And I'm also stamping with the open side of the cap, so that I have open circles too. And again, changing size and going smaller and smaller. Like I said, smaller and smaller. This is a piece of Lego, I think, which is a eeny meeny tiny circle. Then I'm going in with some Titane Buff fluid acrylic paint, and now you can see all the texture of the circles coming out. And with a baby wipe, I'm softening it down. Now we can have some magic happening. I'm taking out some tissue paper. You could do the same with just cheap copy paper that I'm placing on top of my spread. And with an iron, I'm melting the UT again. That's underneath the white buff paint. And by melting it, I'm taking the paint off again. Just look at that yummy texture. If your paper doesn't come off easily, it just means that the UT has cooled down. So you just place your paper on top again, you just reheat it with your iron, and then your paper will come off easier. If you don't have an encaustic iron, you don't need any to do this. You could do this with a regular iron. Just remember to turn off the steam, because I don't think your book would appreciate any hot water going through it. Et voila! Then melting my little circles on top. You could reuse that tissue paper or cheap copy paper that you use to remove the UT. It gives a very fun resist to any spray inks you could put on there. Now I thought my white to be too white, so I'm going back in with the fresco paint blue, and I'm applying it using a baby wipe because I just want it to be a soft shade on top of the white. Then I'm taking a piece of cut and dry, and using that same dark blue, I'm adding an edge to my page. And I'm going back over it with the baby white to soften it, to blend it in the background. I just want the edge to be darkened. I'm stamping this using sap green archival ink, and I really want the stamping to remain in the background. So I'm wiping first with a tissue, then with a baby wipe, and as it's not softening down enough because the ink is already dried on the acrylic paint, I'm using a tiny bit of blending solution that I'm applying on a baby wipe so that it's diluted, because I don't want to take all the ink away, but I really want it to be just a shade that's peeking through the layers. And now I'm covering everything with clear gesso. The thing you should know about clear gesso that it's not like white gesso. It remains porous. And as I want to play with dilutions, I need to make my surface porous again, and the clear gesso will dry completely clear, but it will allow me to play with my dilutions on top of it. I'm protecting the tab on the side as it's paper and I don't want it to turn completely green. I'm also adding water to blend the dilution around. Again, I just want it to be a shade, so I'm taking the excess ink away. Using a baby wipe, I'm blending it in even more, and then I had a happy accident because the clear gesso, the UT resists the clear gesso. So where I had UT, the clear gesso doesn't stick on my page, so I can take it back off. This means that my circles will be completely blue again and will pop out of the page more than they would with the green dilution on top of it. Now this took me quite some time to take it all back off again, because you have to be careful not to rip your complete page to pieces. And as you can see, it's quite a mess. Taking out my diluted black acrylic, and as I keep a lid on it, I can use it again and again. It does dry just a little bit, but it doesn't dry completely. So if I just add a bit of water to it, I can reuse it. Then going for a little Kate Crane finish, I'm adding some black stripes using my card. And then taking the excess ink away so that it doesn't stand out too much on top of the page. At this point, I was really impatient to go in with my wording because I knew exactly what I wanted to write, and that is Obliviate insecurity. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and sometimes I wish I could use that spell on myself and Obliviate all that insecurity that can sometimes haunt me. So just putting my words down. Before I put down the word insecurity, I want to see if I can work with this little girl. This is a collage sheet by Semeroni. Semeroni, yes. You can find the correct name on the list of ingredients on my blog. Just adding a tiny bit of black soot distress ink on the edges and down, gluing her down in one of the circles. And as I wanted to link her to the word, first I'm giving her a bit of a circle to make her pop out a bit more of that circle she's been glued on. And then I'm using a card to link her to the word with black lines. So this is where I'm adding the word insecurity, which is again a sticker alphabet, and this one is by 7 Dot Studio. I'm adding black soot distress ink to the edges too again, and using a post-it to put my word more or less straight on the page, because I realized afterward that my Obliviate was going all wonky, but that's okay, that's how it will stay. Using a charcoal pencil to add a bit of an edge to my word, and then a blending stump to blend it. Now, as a clear gesso is porous, I'm also going over it with an eraser to soften it down even more. And to make sure my letters will stay in place, I'm using Bindex by PBO to secure it. And it will also add a shiny edge to it. That's it for today. Hope you liked the video. See you back next time. Ta-da!